One more time. And you know I don't love it, but today it sounded great, so I'm going to do this for my cousin.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Gali mera gali spera gali nichta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Wow. Let's just get straight into it after a mega introduction. For those listening on audio, Apple, Spotify, and other platforms, thank you too for joining the show. In case you were wondering what those shots that were fired at the beginning, it is a video I have of the cannon shooting a cockerel. And it's absolutely glorious. What a Sunday. Praise Jesus, praise EZE, and praise my wingman for the post-game shows this season, Mr. James Johnson. Bosh, bosh, bosh.
Oh, what a day. What a day.
James, welcome.
I was sat there going, we've learned how to do TIFOs. This is brilliant. I'm like, everything's good. I'm like, we've got fireworks now. We know how to do fireworks. I'm like, oh, it's all magical. It's all magical. Brilliant.
And
I love that they made Sol Campbell the biggest one at the top.
It's so
elite level. Elite level. So good. So good.
This TIFO is elite level shithousery. Yeah. We are showing it on screen right now. And at the tippy top of the TIFO mountain is Sol Campbell. Absolute genius, whoever came up with that idea. Take a bow, take a curtsy. We tip our hat off to you. After the disastrous TIFO in the Champions League against PSG, where we were mocked by the world of football mocked us.
They didn't even iron it, Sophie. It had creases in it, everything. This is pristine. Look at it. It's amazing.
This is elite. This is an elite TIFO. There's no doubt about it. Good evening, squaddies at EZE. Welcome to the show. Let's welcome some of them. Trev is here. Of course, our Chief Like Officer, Tammy Steels, is here. She's been here from the get-go. We appreciate you. Steve is here as well. Mohammed is here. All of you are here. The usual crowd. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. What a day. What a weekend. Hi, Rich from Asia. Let us know where in the world you are, where you watch the game. And Jay says he's a South Londoner, but he respects the song. Speaking of South London, why don't we bring in our other wingman for today? And that is Mr. Albert JTV. Welcome.
Welcome. Sorry if I missed you, James. I missed you. I love you both. I love the chat. A really strange North London derby to watch. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, listen. Sophie, we'll talk more. I'll let you take the floor. It's your channel.
Well,
you would ask me.
Well, listen, it was interesting because we're all WhatsApping, right? We should start a Highbury Squad WhatsApp group. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's not such a good idea. Because about 28 minutes into the first half, I wrote to Albert, I go, this is worse than watching paint dry. Okay. I've realized that once I start bitching about something or someone, something good happens, right? And then we score and then score 2, and Albert's like, "Is it still like watching paint dry for you, Soph?" So it was just it was an awful opening. James, I'm going to start with you. James, just tip your camera down so we're all level, so we can see your beautiful hair and your beautiful beard. James, team sheet came out. Let's start at the very tippy top before we start praising Jesus and all sorts of good stuff. I thought the team selection was good from Mikel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much with everything that's available to us, that's probably the best that you can argue that Miles Lewis-Skelly probably deserves more time just for how good he was last season and the cameos that he's had this season in the Champions League. But I'm not moaning at that. Hincapié, first league start for him. Didn't look out of place there with Saliba today. Thought he was fantastic. And then the rest, we've got no other real focal point forward to play. So Marino's got to be that guy. And then the rest just pick themselves, don't they? That's pretty much been the team for the whole of the season. So, yeah, was happy with that. No problems with that whatsoever. And then, yeah, like you said, bit of an electric start with that Rice one, that chance straight at the beginning, 3 minutes in on the volley, which he produced the save from. Then it got a bit bitty and everything, like you said, but eventually just everybody stepped up. And I don't, like I messaged you earlier, right? My football brain was screaming, being like, what are you doing? Like, what is your plan here? Because you've gone narrow because you're like, oh, I'm backing all my central midfielders and I'm backing all my centre backs. They're crap. They're absolutely rubbish. And you got people telling us that they're the best partnership in the league, Van der Ven and Romero and all that. I'm like, well, I was like, when are you going to make a tackle then? When are you going to make? Just let you go run like Moses in the Red Sea, just straight through, parting. Oh, it was unbelievable. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm grateful it's happening, but just my football head, as well as my Arsenal head's going like, this is like, mate, you are rubbish. Like, what are you doing?
They really are rubbish, and we'll get to the second half and all of it. Albert, that first half where I wrote to you about paint drying, and also some people are like, "Come on, Soph, it's a North London derby, it's tight." Yeah, they were difficult to break down at the start of the game. There's no doubt about that. They parked the spaceship, and it was a big spaceship, like bigger than Captain Kirk's ever was, and eventually. Look at the Arsenal. Okay, everyone keeps calling us, of course, Set Piece FC, as you can see, my nickname today, and it has been for the last couple of weeks, is open play. 2 goals down the middle, Albert. Come on.
Yeah, it's mad. Obviously, we had some exchanges. I had quite a few exchanges with people. They said they was kind of struggling to enjoy the first half. I just thought, listen, it's we're at home, North London derby. I saw some of the score predictions of some of the pundits. I'm like, you've been watching football a long time. I'd expect a little bit better in terms of a high scoring game, but they were right, but not in the way that the game went, if that makes sense. But it was for us for that kind of game, Sophie, like James. It was just for me. It was getting our noses in front. Because when I saw their lineup and I saw that Porro was on the bench and they've gone with 3 centre backs, I thought, okay, there's a reason why Spurs have got a good away record. And we definitely saw that in the first 5 minutes because they were getting 11 men behind the ball within that 25, 30-yard area going towards their goal. And I thought, this is going to be hard. So it'd have been great if we'd have got the opening goal in the first couple of minutes with Rice. What a pass by EZE, by the way. But get that first goal.
Mikel Merino, what a pass by Mikel Merino, by the way. People, the value he brings to this team. I mean, let's give him a bit of a round of applause here. Of course, he's not, a striker. He's not a traditional number 9. But the vision to the parting of the Red Seas, as I think it was that you said earlier there, James. But also the way Trossard turned. Trossard, we'll get to him. But Albert, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I did because I just wanted to mention Mikel Merino, as you were.
No, I'm glad you did so. No, I think one thing I've kind of been critical of Arsenal over definitely a couple of years, maybe 3 years, but definitely last couple of years is we don't get too many runners going beyond the strikers or beyond the opposing team centre halves. And lo and behold, we did that with the first goal. Great wing play, come a bit more central, make the run. You've got to have someone to play the pass, and Mika Moreno done that. It was actually, I thought, you can talk about the deficiencies of Tottenham and giving space in between. You're playing 5 at the back, and you've got your midfield players, central guys tucked in. But it's a great pass, fantastic pass, great first touch, even though his body shape was in about 300 different positions, Trossard, but slight deflection. But that's a brilliant finish, and you have to credit him with the goal. And again, with Trossard, he's come up with a fantastic goal in a big moment where we've had a fantastic set of results go our way again for another week. But to get that goal was massively crucial.
And it looked like for a second he was going to go off and Madueke was going to come on earlier, James. And I did get a little bit nervous about that. He's been such an important player, one of our best players, along with Big Gabby, Timber, who was quiet in the first half, I thought. But, you know, again, the great thing about our squad, you don't have to have the same players be epic every single game. But Trossard has quietly become one of our most important players. And I just thought again today, James, he was brilliant, took his goal well and just didn't give up on any balls. I thought that he was ready for the match. And, you know, in the first half, I thought in particular, he was our best player.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the last couple of weeks, he's been fantastic for us. The turnaround in him has been magnificent, because there were times last season, especially towards the end of the season, where it was just like, well, you're playing for you. You're not necessarily playing for the team here. You come across as very individualistic. But now I don't know if it's the increase in the pay or that increase in the pay and the backing has, you know, given him a new lease of life, because he looked to be out with all the signings that we've made. And obviously the injuries have helped him solidify that place there on the left-hand side. But for me at the moment, someone's got to take it from him. He's starting for me every week at the moment. He's producing either assists or he's producing banging goals. I mean, the one at Sunderland was pretty special. But yeah, like you said today, the touch and the turn on this one are fantastic. They're both lovely goals in their own right. And yeah, I'm really, really happy for him. You know, we've had players before, Soph, like Freddie Ljungberg in that run-in when we won that double season. And he just popped up at big times in big games when you needed him to. And if he's going to carry on doing this all season, then all power to him.
He's a very special player. And you know what? I think it was really smart by the club at the time. And not a lot of people understood him getting a pay bump, but no kind of contract type of stuff. But sometimes you just need a bit of a pay bump. I think we've all been there in our jobs where you know you're worth more. You know that you're delivering, you're getting results, you know, ROI. And whatever it is that they showed Trossard, he's responded to it very well. And I was saying on the show with, I think it was Sammy Mockbell or Ben Jacobs last week, that my goodness, that January transfer window, how the Arsenal dodged an absolute bullet with the Mudryk thing. You talk about sliding doors and sports and moments. That is a mega sliding door moment, and probably one of the most significant sliding door moments in Arsenal's recent transfer history. But let's move on, shall we? Because this day belongs to one man, to one player, a player that Albert JTV has dreamed of having at the Arsenal for many years. He reposted videos he made 3 years ago to prove his point, and rightly so, for Mr. EZE to come back to his beloved Arsenal. Sports is a beautiful, beautiful thing, people. There is nothing better than stories like this. And it's incredible how sports delivers these kinds of moments over and over again. And especially after what happened in the summer, where EZE was literally a second away from joining Tottenham Hotspur. Mikel Arteta grabs the phone and the rest is history. And not only is it just his day, but he enjoyed his day. He's celebrated his goals as he should have, took a little bit of the piss as well, which was just absolutely glorious on this Sunday. Praise Jesus, praise EZE. Albert JTV, a hat trick for your boy. Could have been 4. And
Could have
on
4, yeah, right.
TalkSport today with Max Rushton and Barry, I said that, and I've been saying on this show for weeks, that EZE needs his seminal moment for Arsenal. Great against Manchester City, great against Crystal Palace, but he needs a seminal moment. And these games create cult heroes. They create icons, instant icons. And there is no better way than to signify your arrival at the Arsenal than in a London derby, a North London derby, and like this. Albert JTV, the floor is yours.
Sophie, thank you. I think it's appropriate. Yeah, listen, I love him. I do. I just, like I said, I've been a big fan when he wasn't even playing in the Premier League, and I've been a big fan when he was at Palace. He's come through his injuries when he was there. I said this to Tom Canton when he came on after Leeds, and I said, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I thought 4 years ago he's going to be in an Arsenal shirt, because I'd be lying. But you know, the chance came about that he's here now, Sophie. You know, the interview with Idris Elba, interview on Adibo Akinfenwa's show. Just as a human being, how can you not like him? And he appreciates what an opportunity he's got to come to his boyhood club, who he supported since he's younger, and he was here when he was young himself playing. But he's had moments this season. I've had to bat off a couple of people who was, you know, picking holes at him and this and that. I said, look, he's played in the Premier League for 5 years, but with the greatest respect to Palace, they're a good side. It's not Arsenal. It's a bit of a culture shift and change for him, Eze. You know, it's one thing signing for us, but you got to deliver in the shirt. And he's wearing the famous DB10 shirt. And Sophie, you're right. Sometimes players need seminal moments, and I thought he would score today, but to score a hat trick and almost to score 4. What, first Arsenal player to score a hat trick in North London derby since 1978? Alan Sunderland. That's insane.
It's Lone Star put it up here too. Yeah,
it's amazing. And
do you want another one, just quick?
Go on, Jay.
First English player to score in his first North London derby since Super Kevin Ian Wright.
Yes,
I heard. There's another one for you.
My hair's gone up because at halftime on the broadcast I was watching, the commentator mentioned that Ian Wright and Kevin Campbell. Yeah. And when I heard Kev's name, I'm like, oh my, he would have been flying today with this result.
His son's second goal come on the telly earlier when it was before Leeds and Villa kicked off. His son's second goal come on the telly. I thought, oh, what a finish!
Scored a brace today.
The second one was superb.
I saw I saw his interview as well. Yeah,
I wrote to Ty, and he was buzzing because it's not been an easy season for Sheffield United, and hopefully he scored again in the Still City derby. Arsenal win. It was a great day. Super Kev definitely smiling from somewhere. And EZE is the exact type player that Super Kev would love. And let me tell you guys something, right? I'm telling you right now. Follow Jesus. For those listening on audio, I have a photo up, okay? Jurrien Timber, as you know, puts in, quotes from the Bible all the time. You've got Saliba, who always does his little bit at the beginning. You've got Nkapie now, who does it too. EZE, and he talked about it on his interview with Sky Sports about how he lives his life, what it means to him, and God's child, Bukayo Saka, Big Gabby as well. Let me tell you something. I'm not saying that Jesus is our 12th man here, but you know what it is, guys? I love the character of these players, And even though they're nice boys, they're nice lads, they follow Jesus and all that stuff. Today, though, on the pitch, James, I saw like a tenacity, fight, grit. So you've got this kind of characteristic of all these players that are meshing well. They seem to have the same belief system. And even if they don't, there's this smells like team spirit about the Arsenal. And when you see new players come in, like EZE fits right in, Nketiah today didn't really do much, but still, you know, comes in, doesn't put a foot wrong, played really, really well. It's a beautiful thing to watch, James.
Oh, 100%. And you're spot on with what you're saying, because, you know, for me, before the game started, obviously people have got reservations and they're like, oh, it's a derby. You can never predict this. You can never know what's going to happen. And for me, I just said, look, I think we're going to win. I think we got too much there for them anyway. But I want to see everybody on job. You know, yesterday, everybody else dropped points. So that should motivate you, on top of the fact that it's them lot today as well. So, because if you can't get motivated for that, I mean, their fans, like I said earlier, they must be fuming, because to go 5 at the back and that, for me, already indicated you're frightened. Even without strike, you know, we've got such a depleted attacking force currently, but they still went 5 at the back. They still were frightened. And for me, I think that sent the message before a ball was kicked. They're scared already. They're intimidated already. And that just kicked us and boosted us up. But yeah, no, the team spirit, other than that one moment with Zubamendi and Raya, and then the other one where Raya threw the ball out, everyone was on job. Every single one of them was on job. So, and that's all you can ask. Like when we played Newcastle away, to a man, every single one of them was brilliant. And that's what we need to be doing for the rest of the season. Like every single one of you. Because again, individuals, yeah, they're all brilliant and things can happen, but you ain't winning nothing unless you're all together. And this is the best group we've had in such a long time.
It really is. It really is. And Albert, we were cruising. So the first half closes. It's 2-0. We go in there into, you know, half time with all of the confidence, the team. One of those kind of games where you just want the game to just go on. Do we even need half time? Don't think so. Let's just kind of wrap this thing up, right? And then we come out, and I tell you, do you remember all the Arsenal fans that used to want to sign Xavi Simons? Oh dear, where are you?
There was a lot of them.
There were a lot of them. So you're expecting Tottenham to make some changes and come out and give it a little bit of welly. And then within seconds, by the time I could grab my tea, sit on the couch, give Vinny and Vesper a cookie, EZE does it again, Albert.
Oh, honestly, it's mad because I think they took off Kevin Danza and brought on Xavi Simons. So they went 4 at the back. And, you know, like I said, to come in at halftime 2-0 was brilliant, particularly after that first 35 minutes. But to then come out and get the goal in a minute. And what a beautiful finish, by the way, EZE. I mean, James, we've had many discussions before, and I know people talking about he needs to do more and that kind of thing. But I also think that he's that kind of player that he should have had probably a few more goals than he's already had at Arsenal. To be fair, even a little bit unlucky, but. Is that Sophie typing? Where is it?
Sorry, I am. I don't usually do that, and I apologize to our audio listeners. I'm just getting the stats up, so I'm prepared.
That's all right. I thought something was running behind. I was getting a bit scared, but I don't know.
You telling me off on my own show, huh?
Sophie, I would never dream of doing that. I'll do it privately.
I hate when people do that.
It's all their fans running home behind you. Albert.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is. I was going to say that you remind me. I'm definitely going to message Holly later. I haven't forgotten about her. Trust me. But no, EZE's finish for the second goal it's a beautiful finish. I mean, he's that player. Just if you give him time, but I said it when we signed him. To me, he's not a player. He's a player we don't have at Arsenal. He gives you that extra bit of Maverick stardust, and that second goal was beautiful. And at that point, I was thinking, you know what? How many more are we going to get? Because Tottenham, they did. David Raya probably could have sat in the stands for most of that game until they got the goal. We encouraged them by giving them that goal. As if Mendy holds onto the ball far too long. Don't know what he was doing, and David Raya is obviously out too far, and that gave them a little bit of encouragement. And then from that point, Sophie, James is like, we have to get whoever gets the next goal. This is going to be crucial, and luckily for us, we got it, Sophie.
Yeah, we did, and you know, I just want to stick with the quick goal in the second half there for a second, James, because and by the way, The font I chose for today is showing that I've spelt your name wrong, but it isn't. It's a really cool font that actually is is joining up the L and the James. But as you guys know, it's LL Cool James 91. And even the Albert JTV, although on Albert's it looks kind of cool, the T and the J. Follow these boys, of course. A lot of our photos today, courtesy of Arsenal N7, Guna Chris. If you're not following him on the old Twitter, he does some brilliant pics. So go give him a follow as well. We're talking about Arsenal Tottenham, of course, North London derby. And James, what I liked is little kind of caveats, things you pick up, and signature kind of moments that you hope is the sign of a title winning team, perhaps. Killing a team off, all right, we let them back in a little bit, but did we? They weren't that great. But scoring so quickly after the half, it's little things like that, James, that we've elevated, I think, in our game this season.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I hate repeating myself, but it was about, for me, it was about sending a message. You go 6 points clear. You're playing another rival next week in a game that I believe will be much harder than this game was today.
Mm-hmm.
And just I think as much as maybe Arteta is like, look, lads, controlled aggression, but aggression nonetheless. I think that the players were like, nah, let's wallop them. Let's wallop them.
Yeah.
I know he's saying one thing, but deep down we're feeling another, because they live, we all live vicariously through them. And we're all sat at home going, smash them. Come on. Like, we want 4, we want 5. And they listened. They listened and they got it done. So
they did. We have a quote from the Gaffer, Lone Star Londoner. Thank you so much, down there in Texas. We dominated every part of the game. We created massive chances and had a lot of actions that we were very close to scoring. We stayed patient. Now, patient, I think, is what I wasn't when I texted Albert and said this is like watching paint dry, which is why I'm not a Premier League manager. And Mikel Arteta is paid 15 million a year, and I'm not. And I think patience is something that this team has learned to evolve into. Like, we're not afraid of that slow build-up. We're not afraid. There were so many people on social media saying we need to pass the ball faster. We need to pass the ball quicker. What I was saying on TalkSport today is I think what Mikel's mastered, Albert, is the ability to know, which is his evolution this season and his growth, is when to put the handbrake on and when to take the handbrake off within the game. I think his in-game management, how he sets the tone for the team, his visualization, I think all the good managers tell players what's going to happen in a game, like how they want the game to go. And that patience part, Albert, is huge. And I think really important for us as we're endeavoring, to put our best foot forward in this title challenge this season.
No, well said. I think today's a good example because when I was doing a live watch along, everybody's a manager, isn't it? Sophie James, like, bring him off, bring him on, bring him off, bring him on. But even when it was 3-1, how can I put it? So even though Tottenham there's a period like for about 10 minutes, some put it in the chat where there's like about 67% possession. But I'll go back to what I said a little bit earlier. Like, Gaffer didn't really have a lot to do. It's different if Spurs were absolutely pressing us and, we was hemmed in our half for 10, 15 minutes. And you think, Mikel, come on, you've got to see what's going on and make a couple of adjustments or make some tweaks or changes. But I don't think that I actually agree that in terms of that, if there was a chance where he could have maybe bought on subs earlier, then if there's a chance of that, then do it. But the thing is, I didn't think Spurs were putting that kind of pressure on us to make any massive sort of changes. And when he did make the changes, Sophie and James, he did it for me at a time where I think at the time it was 4-1. You can do that. You know what I mean? You can give the players, get some players off. We've got a big game, obviously, in the week against Bayern Munich, and then following Chelsea next week. Like James says, it's going to be a much tougher game. But
I'd like to see him sub Declan Rice a little bit more at the end there. There's no reason for Declan to still be on the pitch.
No, I agree. I actually thought that at Sunderland, I thought he was flagging with 10 minutes ago, and I would have took him off. I think the only player I looked at in terms of, I was watching the game, thinking any player I could think he might take off at the time was Moreno. I looked at the makeup of the side and I thought, who's struggling or who's not, who's kind of you might bring off and think, you know what, then the level's not really at that precise moment in time of the game. But for me, Moreno was only the obvious one at the time, but he held up to substitutions, Sophie. So sometimes you don't need to change it at that precise moment, and I think that showed itself in that game in that period when it was 3-1.
Yeah, and with Declan Rice, because we've got Bayern Munich coming up as well, James. It's I don't want to nitpick because I think Mikel's got it bang on again. I do want to get to explore just here. Don't want to focus on any negatives, but unfortunately there was one negative in the game. Otherwise, we win that easily 4-0. A mad moment from Zubi, who's been a superstar for us this season. We're a totally different team because of Zubimendi. He has one, when you have his talent and you think you can, that ball just sticks to your foot. Sometimes it just doesn't. It was a moment kind of, I think maybe a mental switch off as well. But I know Zubi was probably to blame, obviously, because he's the first action. No doubt about that. But once again, and maybe it's because of the way we played, and James, I don't want to pick on David Raya, but once again, he looked like a really bad superhero trying to kind of spread his wings and ends up in the back of the net because he's so off his line. I think we can forgive it, but against better teams, we've got to be careful about those mental lapses in those moments because we know we're a talented team. We know that we can beat anyone on the day. And the mental part of everything that we're putting together is so important this season. And we've been brilliant at that. And we'll be judged, of course, in April and May. But that can't happen in a game like this.
No. And I think,
Who's to blame? Zubi?
Both of them. Yeah. I mean, Zubimendi for me drops, he's the one that leads to the shot. So you're gonna portion most of the blame on him. But yeah, David Raya isn't, innocent. He's not a really innocent party in the whole situation. But yeah, for me, I'm like, look, Zubimendi, amazing player for us this season, same as Raya. But he just got caught up in maybe the chemical euphoria of what was going on around him and thought, yeah, I can take on all of these players. But, we had it a couple of seasons ago, I believe, against Tottenham with Jorginho, didn't he? He tried to control a ball and he slipped it out. And I think Son ended up smashing one in the back of the net. So, we've had previous for it. But yeah, they just need to go to him. Look, mate, regardless of, we're 3-0 up or whatever, you've got players everywhere around you. All you got to do is play a 5-yard pass. Come on, like you don't try and run through multiple people. Like you're smarter than that. Fans know you're smarter than that. So again, enough.
Yeah, I agree with Yusuf here. Zubi was superb apart from that one mistake, which is true. Ryan, yeah, Zubi, simple pass. But again, when you know that you've been having that type of game and you're looking at your opponent, we're not going to kill Zubi for it. Stray Cat says he had 4 to 5 teammates open, held on to the ball too long. Lone Star says it's not the first time Raya has been caught off his line. Albert also just shared, of course, in pre-season. It happened in a game this season too, did it not? But maybe I'm mistaken. Zubi needs to bulk up, says Anne23. He's too lightweight. I don't agree with that. I think he's been one of the best players in the Premier League this season.
He wouldn't be the same player if he bulked up.
Yeah. Marky Mark in the house. We love Mark. Zubi, no doubt, will learn from that. I can't fault Raya, as that's the position that he plays as part of the back five. And Josh is saying that perhaps that's why David Raya doesn't play for Spain, despite the praise that we give him. We're going to switch back to the positives now. And I love this. This might be the post of the day so far from Simon. Last time Spurs witnessed so much possession was when they saw the Enfield poltergeist. I love that. Absolutely brilliant. And it seems like an old timer is back in the house. Welcome back to Squad Central, Newman. You might want to stick around until the end of the show, Newman. You never know what's going to happen today. Feeling in a very, very happy mood.
So,
and I also, yes.
Sorry, I don't know. You might have mentioned top of the show, but Arsenal should be forgiven for that amazing tifo today. That was brilliant.
Yes, we did.
was-
We
yeah,
showed the picture
brilliant.
and we talked about it. All is forgiven. And we waxed lyrical. We played the shooting bird, my favorite video, which I'll play right now for you. I even played North London Forever. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy what's gotten into me. Albert sent me this as well, which you could add another number
Amazing.
onto that right now. When scoring first in the Premier League this season, before this game it was 7, but with today's game, 8 games played, 8 wins, 0 draws, 0 defeats, 0 goals conceded. Albert, we don't want to start getting too excited because there's a long way to go. I'm managing the journey. All right. I'm not thinking about the destination. But we're a good team. And these type of stats are stunning.
No, they are. They are. Obviously, we're going to have to put a 1 on at the end of it because obviously Spurs got 1 today, now, unfortunately. But listen, it's
Oh,
still
yeah. Sorry.
But
See, this
it's
is why
still...
I don't do maths. I'm rubbish at maths.
So it's all right. So we'll forgive you. We stuffed the spuds, man. It's all right. But no, listen. You know what it is? It's gonna get. I think I messaged you and Kenny yesterday when I was when I was still at work doing the late one. But it's only gonna amplify even more because you look at it like it was the North London derby is a big game anyway, right? But then obviously results went our way, so it's going to be amplified even more to how big it's going to be, and get the points total up even further. So as the weeks carry on and the games come thick and fast, even for someone who I like to think I'm sometimes a little bit level-headed, James and Sophie, just a little bit sometimes, it's going to be difficult to contain yourself because we've got a better squad. It's a better side. We've got quality in quite a number of different areas, from a defensive point, from the midfield, the strikers. We've got a brilliant spine of the team. And even at times there in the game where, it's a North London derby, it's going to get a bit feisty on a couple of occasions. I like the way Saka's, stood up against the Dogi from a physical point of view, and Timber. It's like a cop tag team, those two are parts against it. But it's going to be difficult for us as fans to contain it. Still quite early in the season. What's that, 14 games now? Is that 13, 14 games now in the Premier League? So, but when the team play as well as they do, yes, we can nitpick and we need to move the ball quicker, and individual mistakes can happen in games. But it's about trying to keep your powder dry as best as possible as an Arsenal fan this season, because it's going to be difficult when Arsenal get the result they got today. And I said it to you, Sophie, yesterday, and Kenny, and I'll sort of wrap up and shut up. But I saw the reaction of how our fans behaved after the Sunderland game. And I'm going to speak for myself when I say this. If I could have wrung some people's necks, that was some of our sections of our fan base, I would have done it. So I'm like, just calm down. Like, Man City beat Liverpool and everyone starts getting scared. And I'm like, just embrace the challenge, man. You've wanted to be at the higher restaurants and challenging for league titles and winning important games of football. We're there now. Like, embrace it. If we're going to win the league at a canter or take it to the last game of the season, embrace it, man. We ain't been in this position for a long time to be putting ourselves in a position, even in the early part of the season, where people looking at us thinking, Real fans are going, we can't really take the piss out of Arsenal like we used to, because this energy and levels a little bit different from it has been for the last 3 or 4 years. And keep the powder dry. It's hard, but listen, we've got a job to do. We need to get this league title over the line, and then we can talk about it further down the line potentially. But listen, it's going to be tough, man. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Totally agree. James and Albert and Squaddies in chat, let's do this. Of course, there were some two in particular outstanding performances today. We're going to get to our player of the match in just a minute here, and marks for the Gaffer, and our hero of the day. James, if you had to pick an underrated performance today, someone who was really, really good, just went under the radar. When a player scores a hat-trick, you kind of just focus on that particular player. Who would be your underrated performance of this North London derby, James?
I think I'm going to go with the decision that pretty much everybody else is going to say. For me, it's the same every game. It's Jurien Timber for me. The guy is absolutely. He's a cheat code. When you play these low blocks, he is an absolute cheat code. I mean, what a footballer. And his aerial dominance when they're trying to play, we're known as this side that are set pieces, long throws, hoofball. These lot call us Stoke. And yet they try to ping how many balls in today? And the headers, this guy should be nowhere near as aerially dominant as he is for his height. But he is superb. I said it earlier in the season to you, Sophie. If I go in person and I spend my money, I would be over the moon to watch Jurien Timber kick a football. For me, he's that good. It's a joy watching this guy play. I think he's incredible. I really do.
Yeah, he's a very, very special player. There's no doubt about it. Probably one of our best investments we've made in years and years and years. I mean, he's just for me, he's the best right back in the world right now. Albert, underrated performance for you?
James stole my thunder. So
you see, for me, I feel like you guys may have got this one a little bit wrong, because Timber now is like the Don of Dons. I think his performances are just, I think he's moved on from underrated from the start of the season to one of our most important players, right? I was thinking, Declan Rice was underrated today, and who am I to tell you that your opinion's wrong? So I'll just stop right now. But go on, Albert, carry on. I'm just going to strike myself because there's someone else I'm thinking of. Go on.
That's all right. So if you can strike yourself in your own channel, you deserve it. No, I'm going to come. James already stole my thunder, but I'm going to say Trossard. Actually, I think he's come up again. So if we go back a couple seasons when I think he bagged 17 plus goals in all comps, and if he can reenact that, and he's come up with he's played really. It's not just he scored the goals; he's played really, really well. He's got a little partnership combination play going there with Calafiore. He's taking on defenders. He's picking the right pass at times, and maybe this is probably most definitely, and I know it's still quite early this season. This is most easy for me, most definitely his best period in an Arsenal shirt, because I never saw it coming. I didn't think he would feature as much as he has done, and that was even when Martinelli was fit. So yeah, clutch isn't overterm word that's used very often, but he is for us, Sophie. He is. Yeah. He's our Freddie Ljungberg.
He's really become that player. I'm with Mars Gunner here. Timber isn't underrated, close to being the best right back in the world, and super consistent at a very high level.
Yeah, his performance today was underrated. I don't think he's being spoken about enough for what earlier on.
Second half is brilliant.
People in the chat were saying he had a bad game. I'm like, well, what game did you watch? You must have watched it on a different telly, because I thought he was superb.
Second half he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant.
His passing and his carrying, when you've not got Gyökeres to drag people out, is so vital and important for this side. Key. I'm like, watch it properly. Use your eyes.
Right, Masha day 2. Come on.
My underrated performance, and I was thinking, even though he didn't have to do much, right? It's similar to when Mosquera had to go in for Saliba against Liverpool. And Capier coming in for Big Gabby, who has been our leader. He's been the beast in the defensive box. He's been the beast in the offensive box. He has been a beast at scoring from set pieces, giving assists from set pieces. He's kind of put Saliba in a shadow, so vitally important. So just like Mosquera came in and did a brilliant job when he had to sub for Saliba, I thought, and Capier coming into a North London derby, all right, and having to sub for Big Gabby, who, by the way, his celebrations on the side of the pitch were absolutely legendary and epic. I just think that
he better not injure himself jumping up and down. He was next to Odegaard. If I was Odegaard, I'd have gone, you sit back down. Stop jumping up. Yeah. Don't you tear nothing else. Don't you dare tear nothing else.
When the fourth goal went in, was it Miles Lewis-Skelly that was jumping on Arteta? One of the players off the bench was
We'll watch it back.
was
We'll
doing
watch
that.
it
Yeah.
back.
And look, I know that they weren't tested, and I totally get it. They weren't, but the fact that
To come in for that game.
And when you are putting those moments to just handle it, and Cappier, for me, I'm telling you guys right now, this guy's a baller. And I know a lot of our listeners and fans watch Bundesliga, but there are a lot of Arsenal fans that do not watch Bundesliga, that actually do not watch a lot of football outside of the Premier League. They just don't. And Cappier is a very, very special player. I thought Calafiori didn't have his best game, in the first 20 minutes, but and maybe his is an understated performance. There's underrated and understated. You don't always have to be the Italian stallion, right? Marching down the pitch. I thought that he was neat today, neat and tidy, which, we don't always say about Calafiori. And that for me is so good when you've got these players who are just in the spotlight, lighting it up, but then you've got it's like a leading actor and a supporting actor. And sometimes the supporting actors steal the show. Sometimes, they don't, but there's this balance right now, guys, where you've got different players shining in different moments every single week. And I think that is just a place that we haven't been in years and years.
Yeah, and you're right with Hincapié, because he just slotted in seamlessly. We're used to it before, years and years ago, when Mustafi was playing, he gets injured, and in comes Callum Chambers, and you're like, oh, right, okay, wow. But now Gabriel gets injured, Hincapié comes in, and like you said, he looks like he's played 4 or 5 years with them all. The chemistry that they still had as a defensive unit, considering that back four's never played together yet, unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's get to our player of the match. I think this is good. Should I even ask? I am going to. Albert, let's keep this one short, shall we? Who's your player of the match? You're on mute.
Sorry, if that's an amateur mistake. Player of the match. Oh, that's a bit difficult one. EZE, of course, man. I saw his stats. Was it? He ranked goals 3, shots 6, shots on target 4. Touches in opposition box 7. He saw how furious he was. He didn't get the 4th. Did you see his reaction afterwards?
Yeah, he should have scored that.
Yeah, he should have done. But he's a mate. Yeah, what a way to arrive, Sophie. I mean, I'm so happy for him personally. I know what it means for him to play for his club. It's incredible, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's brilliant.
incredible.
It's brilliant stuff. As Simon says here, it's an EZE choice, James. Very nice. You should be writing for the tabloids there, mate. James, I'm just going to have you got to say it out loud.
Just Gabriel James.
Just replay what Albert said with my voice. Just change it. Just do an AI. And it'll be, there's the... Come on, first player to score a hat-trick in a North London derby in 47 years. Of course it's going to be him.
It's an easy choice.
Of course it's going to be him.
I just had to ask because we do every single show.
So you know what? We'll have to speak to Kenny later and ask him about the atmosphere. I know it would be great, but it'd just be good to hear from him how it was.
So the atmosphere up until Richarlison's goal was absolutely ridiculous. And then a bit of PTSD kicked in after the Richarlison goal, and it went really quiet at the Emirates. And we'll ask Kenny Ken about that for sure. And then it picked up again. It was the Tifo, I think, gave everyone.
A lot of people think old 3 from Desires wearing off. It ain't wearing off where we are. They were loving that in there today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy it's not Sweet Caroline, anything but Sweet Caroline.
Was that the club, Sophie, that put that together, the Tifo?
I believe so.
I believe it was.
They worked with someone.
Was it Red Action or Ashburton?
Red Action, that's it. Red Action. Red Action sent out a note to everyone today telling them to be in their seats at like 4:15, and they had a whole bunch of stuff happening beforehand.
More of them, please.
Yeah, definitely.
James, WhatsApp group picture that definitely. Yeah, let me change it while we're talking.
this is why you need fans involved. You know, this is why
100%.
and I'm sure the club will never ever make that mistake ever again. Right, marks for the gaffer today before we get to a very important piece of housekeeping business, kids. And by the way, there's a couple of hundred of you listening to the show right now, just here with us, and others on our other social media platforms. Hit the like button. It's free.
Please.
And so is the show free. And no ads, no super chats here on Highbury Squad. So please do hit the like button if you are a first time listener or you're in the room, you know, and you're not subscribed. Do so. We have some great guests on the show. And if you're listening on our audio platforms, please subscribe so you do not miss an episode. Albert, your marks for the gaffer.
Oh, that's a good one. You know, I'm going to say straight away. I'm going to say I'm going to say a 9. I would have said 10 if we'd have scored 5. so if I got another stat, apparently, I don't know if this is true. Was it the first time we've beaten Spurs in 4 derbies in a row since '89? Apparently.
Yes, and you know what? Another incredible stat is Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, as a player and as a manager, has never lost to Tottenham at the Emirates.
Wow. Go on,
Yeah.
Mikel.
Yeah, someone will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the case, which is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Which he should just get a 10 out of 10 for anyway. The only way, James, I'm going to dock him a point is he was doing so well with his subs up until Sunderland. And I just want him to still, I know we've got injuries, but does he trust Norgard? Not sure, guys. Seem to be like high on Norgard, you know, and he's talked him up a lot and stuff like that. But Declan Rice should come off in the 80th minute at least, you know, or if you're winning 4-1, you don't need Declan on the pitch. So, James, that's the only, I'm docking him half a point. He gets a 9.5 for me, does old Mikel. But I would like to have seen Saka come off, Rice come off, and even Saliba come off. What say you?
Yeah, I get what everybody's saying with that. Yeah, you know, can you manage the load and can you manage the players better? But basically, most of them that he took off for me today were the ones that I was expecting him to. So I don't really, you know, he normally plays most of those players for 90 minutes unless it's really, you know, they really are running into the ground or what have you. The thing for me, Soph, which is going to be the biggest thing now where we're going to judge him, and it's where I'm going to judge him specifically, is he has had a tendency in the past when his big players have got injured and his other players were doing well, he's then hooked them right away and put the big players back in. And I'm like, at the moment, if you remember a couple of seasons back when we first signed Trossard, he was scoring, he was assisting, and then Jesus come back and he put Jesus straight back in and hooked Trossard. And I was like, Trossard that season wasn't the same player as soon as he put. So with the way that Eze's playing at the moment, with the way that Trossard's playing at the moment, I don't want to see Martinelli. I don't want to see, you know, we had this discussion about Odegaard and Eze on the last show. Do I think Odegaard's a better player than Eze? Yes, I still do. However, at the moment, do not change what is a winning side and the balance and everything. I don't care how good Odegaard looks when he comes back. He's got to earn his place. He hasn't got a given right to go straight back into the team, regardless if he's the captain or not. He's got to show, as well as the others, that they can go back in. I mean, Gyökeres is going to walk in for Moreno. We know that much. But with everything else at the moment, just keep it as it is. That's going to be the biggest test. Is he going to revert to type and put the big name straight back in? Or is he going to allow it to just carry on the way it is? That's going to be the biggest one for me to watch over the next couple of weeks.
Good shout.
Yeah, great shout. I got a little bit stuck there on the that picture while you were talking, James. I am sorry. Didn't want it to be on screen so long, but
loads of people zoned out about 5 minutes into talking, so don't worry.
Well, listen, I know it's very difficult to look. Winning a North London derby is always so sweet, and oops, sorry, that's my auntie calling me. We had 17 shots. They had 3. We had 8 on target. They had 2. 57% possession for us. We had 366 passes. They had 235. Pass accuracy the same for both teams at 88%. 11 fouls for us, 15 for them. 3 yellows, 1 for us. No red cards, which was great. 4 corners for us and 1 for them. Arsenal Football Club are 29 points, top of the table, 6 ahead of Chelsea, 7 ahead of Manchester City. And it wouldn't be remiss of us to not talk about the action from the weekend, or why not? We have everyone here. We have everyone's attention right now. It was a brilliant result. Albert said it at the top of the show. We have Bayern Munich and Chelsea next. Those are going to be much tougher games. Again, we're going to find out a lot about our team. But for Liverpool and Manchester City, Chelsea maybe having a 22-23.
Great emoji choice, by the way, there.
You like that, right? Chelsea may be having a similar season to us. No one was expecting them to challenge. They are second right now. They'll probably drop off. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll have the improbable Arsenal season and go to the very, very end. But my goodness, Liverpool Football Club right now. And everyone was talking about Manchester City last weekend. And of course, Manchester City can turn it on at any given time and go on a run. People keep saying that. But we're the ones who are going on a run right now. Liverpool Football Club are 11th with 18 points and sit on the same amount of points as Manchester United. If Everton beat Manchester United tomorrow, there is the chance that alphabetically Everton would go above Liverpool. And I can't remember the last time Everton were above Liverpool in any of the last few seasons. But James, I'll start with you. It was a glorious weekend of football results-wise for us. And can't rule out City. Chelsea, I think, are a decent team. I said at the beginning of the season, don't underestimate them. They did beat PSG in the Club World Cup final. I know everyone poo-poos that tournament, including me. But is it going to be a case of everyone else is shit and we're going to win it this season, a little bit like it was for Liverpool last season, James?
Look, we'll take it whatever way it comes, won't we? We'll take it whatever way it comes. But I want to know when we can start, these media lovey-doveys that are mainly based in the Northwest, and a lot of them are actually ex-Liverpool players. When can they start be called bottle jobs, Soph? Because it's very quiet. You're very, very quiet about Liverpool. They don't get the same analysis as some of the other teams that are within the Big Six. This is the worst defence of a title I've seen in a very, very long time. And they spent so much money. And they were giving it. They were talking about how they were going to win it at a cat. They won the league, 5-6 games into the season. They'd already won it. The way they were talking. And life has come at them very, very fast. They're disjointed. They're all having a go at each other on the pitch. Baldy Slot and the 3 hairs is losing his head. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of people. So, yeah, nice one, Liverpool. Thanks for everything.
Baldy Slot and the 3 hairs. Is that a thing or is that you?
That's what I call him. Yeah,
Right.
I can't stand it. I can't stand the guy. I can't stand the guy.
Why?
Some of the interviews that he's had, there's a woman on Sky, and he was so rude to her. He wanted to have a go at Carragher, but typical misogynistic way of, no, I'll yell at the woman because I can't really have a dig dong with Carragher. And I just thought, ever since then, I'm like, you're a mug. You're just a muggy guy. Don't like you. Just don't like you.
Don't hold back, James Johnson. Let him have it. Absolutely.
I don't like Liverpool anyway. People know this. Out of all the clubs in the league, I despise them the most out of all of them. I can't
Even more than
abide
Tottenham Hotspur.
Yep, I don't like Liverpool at all.
Fair
Entitlement,
enough.
offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. That's Liverpool for me.
All right. Albert, what did you make of the weekend? I love it.
What? But so if it's like I know you despise Manchester United. James is right. Like I have that. With Liverpool, I don't know. It happened quite a few years ago. Some of their fans it just really made me turn off of them, man. I've got to be honest, man. And it's quite interesting to see. I said this to you before, Sophie. With I look at a lot of the Liverpool fans. I'd say probably they're maybe late 20s, early 30s at a push, and just see the way they're behaving on their channels on social media. It's fantastic to see.
I'm
It's
loving
beautiful.
the meltdown.
Support your club through thick and thin. Don't just be vocal when you win. And that's the problem with some of their fans that I've seen on socials. And now they're seeing what it's like to be in adversity. 6 out of 7 they've lost. Do you say they're 18th in the league?
11th.
11th, sorry, 18 points, 11th in the league.
18 points, yeah.
Forest have done, I think they've won back-to-back at Anfield for the first time since the 60s. I mean,
Crikey, it's a catastrophe.
Yeah. So, yeah, what's happening with Liverpool? I mean, I didn't get to see the football yesterday, but it was...
They were terrible.
What gave me the joy of being out on the road for work for so long, to see that result come through, I got home quicker than I should have done. That's how important the result was yesterday at Anfield. Good.
They should have
fantastic to see.
They should have actually lost 4-0. There was nothing wrong with that that goal.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It was so ridiculous. There were some really garbage decisions yesterday. I mean, look, I'm not a fan. Man City should have had 2 penalties yesterday.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I mean, Newcastle got a little bit lucky, but they also missed
look at the one in the game before. Look at the one in the game. Why did that at Leeds take so long? I'm like, Martinez is a goof. I'm like, what are we looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking for. No one's offside. Martinez is he's a goof. If he played for a club that was actually in the Big Six, his errors would be spotted out more. The guy's a goof. He's an absolute goof.
I mean, that was poor acting. He deserves a Razzie for that performance.
After that World Cup, he's become a big stiff idiot, that guy. I'm sorry. He's a goof.
I don't think, I think Emery lost a lot of time with him quite a while ago, but I don't know that for definite. But you know what it is as well, James and Sophie, is that when rival fans were mocking us in terms of decisions via referees, they found it funny. They didn't care. Now you're seeing the fruits of the labor. Be careful what you wish for.
It was bad. It was bad yesterday. I mean, the Phil Foden one. So what if he got his shot off? The guy kicked him.
That was a terrible decision. That was
so
terrible.
So bad. And the Doku one as well. So awful. And you're right, James, as well. Like, come on, the Martinez thing was so obvious. The Leeds disallowed goal. That was obvious with Calvert-Lewin. The handball. What are we doing here? Can I just say, you guys, thank God there was nothing like that with Michael Oliver today, who has been notoriously. He was under. I said this on the show with Sammy Mockbell. I said he's under pressure. He's going to be under pressure in this game because of what happened with Miles Lewis-Skelly, and he hadn't officiated Arsenal in months and months. So our criticism of him has been, rightly so. Our praise should be as loud as our criticism. Now, I don't want to praise him, but I do want to say he handled the game decently today. That's what I'm going to say.
Thing is, Sophie, people were panicking about the guy. For me, you got like I was saying to you midweek when we were talking on WhatsApp, make him insignificant.
Yes, exactly.
As much as people moan about the refs we have now, the refs that I used to watch back in the day were 10 times. They couldn't keep up with the game. Some of them, some of them were so slow and like huffing and puffing. You used to get oxygen deprivation watching them yourself. They were that bad. They were so unfit. Milford. And it's just like, but we were such a good football team that it didn't matter. It was like, yeah, you go be a Wally as a ref because we're just going to score 3 or 4 goals anyway. So who cares? And that's exactly what we did today. It was like, screw him, play our game, and don't even bring him into account. Don't give him a reason to book any of you.
Sophie, you're right. Him getting that when he got the game, I was surprised he got given the game. If I'm going to be real honest, but I think obviously him having the game today. I don't want to swear on your show, Sophie. But
no, you can. There's no ads.
You've got the license. I think he was shitting it today, man.
For sure.
I think the pressure was it's a pressure situation to manage to referee a big game anyway, which him and Anthony Taylor get the big games normally. But I think today he probably kind of thinking, you know what, please not let me do anything today. And it's at the Emirates. I'm not saying people would have got onto the pitch. I'm not going to encourage that, but yeah, he was anonymous, to put it politely.
Yeah, but like James is saying, and Trev, we didn't leave it to chance today. We took the game out of his hands, and we're smarter. This is why I feel like our evolution is. You can see it's happening. Not kicking the ball away, not giving the referees the opportunity to take us down. And I'm sure that's something that Mikel preaches, you know, keep it in our hands. Don't put it in their hands, because once it goes in their hands, you know how history tells you what they like to do
Sophie,
to the Arsenal.
That Richarlison, he thinks he's so smart.
I can't stand him.
I saw that on EZE. To me, James, you might correct me if I'm wrong. I thought he looked like he had a little dig on him. He was on the floor, personally.
Look at him. Look at this picture. Like, it's like he's dying in Saliba's arms. Cry, I just died in your arms tonight. I mean,
he knew what he was doing with EZE. Trust me.
This guy is a punk. I tell you, I'd rather watch Bruno moan during a game than Richarlison. And especially maybe after what happened with Aaron and stuff, and then with Tomiyasu on the sideline. Like, you're going to mess with, with Tomiyasu on the side. He's just, and the fact that we let him score, that was a brilliant goal. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I don't like him, but credit where it's due. What a finish. I mean, you still have to score that. But God, he has an elevated perception of himself, and he is a mosquito. That's what he is.
Obnoxious.
He's like
he's a classic that my family would say, look, if he was on fire and you had a glass of piss, you'd grab a straw, wouldn't you? You'd grab a straw.
Jesus, James is on. Talk about on fire. Crikey.
He is. Even players like him and Diego Costa, they just rub you up the wrong way, man.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do a show on players that rub you up the wrong way.
I thought I was going to go a different road then. I was like, that's going to be after 9 o'clock, that show.
Under the watershed. Now my cousin George is calling me. He's probably on his way home from the Emirates. So no, Diego Costa, him, Bruno. Right now, I don't know who else rubs me up the wrong way than him. But yeah. I'm not having anyone speak ill of Bellingham. We'll do a whole... No, sorry, not having it. Just not. There's a difference between mosquitoes and confidence and backing it up. Like, Richarlison doesn't back it up anymore, right? The last time he was a good player was when he was at Everton.
Watford.
Bellingham is I don't know what the issue is with I have a pretty good idea what the issue is with Bellingham. I asked Sammy point blank about, the treatment of black players versus not, the way Foden might be treated. I just don't get why we don't like characters in the game anymore. Confidence. We want players to be robots. I just don't understand it. I think that Bellingham is a character, and he's got bravado and he's got confidence. And I think you need that in a team, but I don't know. That's a whole other show. I'm not going to get on that right now. It's been a brilliant day for the Arsenal. It really has. And it has just been a great weekend, and we continue to just rise, and long may this continue. We've got some tough games. We've got 2 more London derbies coming up after Bayern Munich, and then we go into a crazy season, and we're all going to have to hold our breath. Looks like we're getting some players back slowly but surely, guys. It was great to see Madueke on the pitch today, just suiting up and coming on, and that's what we want. We want Gyökeres next. We want... Martin Odegaard's going to have to sit on the bench now. I mean, something that EZE does that Martin Odegaard doesn't, and you guys know how much I love Martin Odegaard.
Shoots.
EZE gets the ball from under his feet so quickly. His feet just work so fast, very quick, and he gets his shot off. He doesn't even blink. If he sees the opportunity, he shoots. And what you're seeing right now from him in the role that he's playing, and I agree with what James said, you don't just march back into this team and take Trossard's spot or EZE's spot, or, you know, before it was Gyökeres and Havertz, right? You don't do that, and you've got to rotate, right? There's no doubt about that, but you don't just inherit your spot back just because of your status at the club. I just don't. I hope Mikel won't work that way, but yeah, I just think that we're much. EZE's found his you know, his role, his voice in the team, especially after this North London derby. Maybe it would be different against Bayern Munich, or let's see what happens against Bayern Munich and Chelsea and stuff like that. But also to have Odegaard back, I think is hugely important. This is the beautiful thing. You know, I know every manager has favorites, teachers have favorites, but let's see how he handles it and how he handles this this big squad. Right. An excellent day for the Arsenal. Now, Newman's been missing off the show, and I thought I'd do this while you guys were here. I have a pretty good idea how Albert's going to go. And he, you know, he actually had me on side until he made a comment earlier that kind of turned me off a little bit. I'm not going to say what the comment was, but he made a comment earlier, and I was like, you really had me at hello, and now you don't. Hold on one second. I have to respond to this message. Let's see. Hold on. I got to find it. Hold on. Yes. Sorry, I'm on air. I can.
Trevor, well said in the chat, mate, about EZE. Well said.
What did he say?
He said, I don't care who you are, how good you are. You need time to settle into the team. EZE is no different.
Yes. Well said. So here it is. I don't care who you are or how good you are. You need time to settle into a team. EZE is no different. Matty K22. So Newman's been protesting. He's been away from the show for a little bit. And the squaddies were actually, Carol really should be here for this, but she'll listen to it on replay. The squaddies were getting worried about him, and a lot of people said, listen, I don't like the guy. And a lot of people said, oh, we miss Newman. And some people were, I don't care for him, but is he still alive? I said, I'll email him and find out. So I emailed him, and it turns out, he wrote me this. He goes, Dear Sophs, please read this message to the squaddies. Thank you for your concern. I am fine, except for an itch on my left. Right, I won't read that out. I'm struggling to appear on Highbury Squad due to the sheer embarrassment of having been promised a Zenith coin on the 21st of January 2025, after which said coin was revoked quicker than a Prince Andrew title. Even Gunnar Russ has a coin, and his art looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp. I would like to thank all those who tried and failed in their mission, including Master Daniel Potts, Lee Judges Esquire, Sir Clive Palmer, Harold Simiao, and he spells Harry's last name like a cat, meow, not Simiu, meow. Lord Elliot Smith, Heiress Donna Potts, Chief Like Officer Tammy Steels, Dame Carol of Chat, and literally hundreds of others. So not hundreds of others, including numerous women of Indian heritage who have tried to help me. All my love to you, Tony, and your canine offspring, Newman. So he sent this letter, right? Albert was already not looking particularly happy about it. And, you know, I was really leaning towards awarding Newman a Highbury Squad coin, and he made a comment tonight that has made me think, is it time? Should I torture him more, or is it time? So I'm going to put it out to a once and for all final vote. Okay. And we will make a final decision, and we will let Newman know on Monday Madness tomorrow night whether or not he gets a coin. So in your YouTube comments after the show, let us know if you think Newman deserves the coin. James and Albert will vote right now. James, what say you? No from James.
Super Kev said no coin, so I'm saying no coin. That's how I'm sticking to it.
Wow. Albert, what about you? Wow, you really need Lee Judges, Potsy and Harry on this show. Oh my goodness. Unlucky Newman. Albert and James say no. So yeah, well, we're going to get some votes in. Vote at the highburysquad@gmail.com. Leave your comments. If a lot of you are going to DM me. Matty's already voted yes, so it's the final vote, and I promise you it is it. This is it. There is no more talk of Newman and a coin. We do have a special promotion coming up with Zenith coins for the holiday season. We're going to kick it off this week with it being Thanksgiving in the United States. We're going to give away some really cool stuff. They've got a couple of new bits, and of course we'll be doing another one of those Invincible collection beauties as well. Newman says it's the last time I'm nice to Albert. He really was a fan.
I don't think he was nice. I must have missed that one in the shows I've been on. I must have missed that one, man.
So yeah, let us know. But that was his letter, and he's back today, coincidentally, probably to hear his letter read out. But we're going to make that final decision. Thank you too for your vote. Voting is important. It helps us keep our football democracy clean and honest and real and true. What else have we not said that we need to say before we close the show, people?
Am I going? No, well, there's not much to say. Like I said, rewatch Match of the Day 2 if you wanted, people. I'm sure you will, because it's North London derby. But as I said, man, it's still early in the season, but just keep your powder dry. It's hard, but we're in a good place with this Arsenal side, and we've still got more players to come back, and the games are going to come thick and fast, and Christmas is around the corner. We'll be into New Year before you know it, and hopefully everybody will be back by then and kick on the charge even more. And I've got the ticket in the ballot for Villa, so I'll be there for that game.
Do you know what? I should have put a poll up. You're right. Why didn't I do that? Such an idiot. Too much going on. Where is even the poll? I've done them before, but
do it on Monday.
I'll do it on Monday. Okay, that's a good idea. All right, James, what's your closing? What say you?
Yeah, just enjoy the result and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Mind your heads, don't go too hard because it's Monday tomorrow. But have a good one. Enjoy it. Give them lot, if you've got any of them in your WhatsApp groups or any of them in your family or whatever, give them a little, just make sure that they know that they're not at the level that they think they're at. And also, if Hertzy's still in the chat, good luck for later. Forza Inter. Let's go. Milan derby kicking off in a minute.
Oh, is it? Is it the Milan derby?
Oh,
okay. Very good. Very nice. Very good.
Tuck into that one.
I love that. And I do love a little bit of Hertzy as well. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in. What a great result. It's been brilliant. Appreciate you, Albert. Appreciate you, James. And please make sure you follow these guys at LLCallJames91, at Albert JTV. They've got bits and bobs coming up. Thanks to Guna Chris for his photos as well. A brilliant result for the Arsenal 4-1, a seminal moment for EZE. A match just, well directed by Mikel Arteta. Again, we've got Bayern Munich coming up on Wednesday.
Big
that's
game.
big. Yeah, that's huge. Guaranteed Harry Kane goal, as we know it's going to happen. We have Ian Stone from Handbrake Off, very funny comedian as well, coming on the show on Tuesday at, is it 6 or 7 UK time? Look out on the community page. Ian Stone, love Ian. He's been on the show before. It's been about maybe a season since we've seen Ian on the show. So Ian will be on I'm not sure about what time tomorrow yet because there's got some appointments. So keep your eyes peeled on the community page for that. And then we'll be back as well Wednesday after the Bayern Munich game. That's a biggie to talk about some other great guests coming up in the near future too that you guys will absolutely love. It is a great day, Rob. You're welcome, everybody. Appreciate you. Make sure you follow these guys. You know, I'm going to play a couple of bits for you as we exit. And again, what a great day to be a Gooner.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.